Here we have it. We got the ABH Brow Freeze. So this is basically going to do the same thing as soap. It just acts like a brow gel, but it just leaves your brows nice and fluffy. Sometimes brow gels, they can tend to leave your brows a little crunchy, got some crunch. And I don't really care for that as much. So these are just really going to lift. You can already see it just really start to lift. And then we'll just take it right there. So I've been enjoying it. I don't know if I like it enough to replace soap because I think this is like $20, maybe even more. So don't throw out your soap. Don't throw it out. But if you don't have anything, this is really, really nice. Okay, so we're doing a bridal look today. You guys keep receipts on me. When I tell y'all, oh, remind me, y'all like screenshot it and you're like, Rose, I got receipts on you. I love you guys. So let's do it. Bridal. What does that mean to some of you? We're all so different, and I feel bridal makeup is so personal. I wore a wing liner on my wedding day that I did myself, and let me tell you, it was spicy. There was some spice. So a few of you were even asking if I have my nails done for my wedding or how I did my hair. You're looking at it. You're looking at all of it. This was my hair on my wedding day. Of course, I have my little veil, so I didn't have these. I had a veil. That was it. I'm using clean canvas. I'm using the shade Fair today. So yeah, it was pretty low maintenance. Ben and I paid for our wedding ourselves, so there was a budget. All right, we got this Lorac palette. I feel like this just screams bridal. It's warm, but not too warm. These pretty champagne shimmers. Got a black. Okay, this is gonna be it. That's my excited hand. Okay, so let's grab, this brush is very similar to a MAC 217S, and I'm going to grab this shade here. It's called Close Up. I'm going to start with my medium transition shade. Don't worry about the creasing. I have to remind you guys, this is going to move because it's not set in any way. This base works best if you set it as you go. So now I'm going to start to press this throughout my crease, and now we're kind of setting it. This base is not going to move now, especially through here. But you really need to take your time and press that eyeshadow in. I'm going to pick up a little bit more, kind of deepen this side. So just take your time and press that in. So as I'm bringing this color over this way, I want it to transition and be a lot lighter. I don't want it to be so heavy through the front part of the eye. So we're focusing that same color mainly through here, and then whatever's left on the brush, I'll just tap over this way. Like I said, we want it to kind of be a little lighter so it won't bring down the eye. I'm going to take these two shades. They're called Vintage and Cinema. So we'll grab this and we'll grab this. And notice that I grabbed it on the side of the brush. I'm kind of going to tilt my head back, and that's just going to make sure that the brush can fit just right across this upper part of my crease. So just kind of tap that color back and forth. These two shades we can take more towards the inner part since they're lighter, but they're still going to give us a nice definition. And this tapping back and forth is just going to melt it into that first shade that we laid down. You guys are honestly just split down the middle every single time when I ask y'all something. So it's basically 50-50 on matte or shimmer lid. I'm done. I'm going to do one matte and one shimmer. I'm really not. So now let's grab this shade on the side of the brush, and we're going to tap this on the highest point of our brow bone, and then whatever's left we'll just kind of tap over this way, and we're going to tap it over this way. Apparently there's a circus going on outside and inside. All right, matte lid is winning. That's okay. We'll just do a really pretty bright inner corner. I'm going to grab this shade here, and this is a MAC 252S. I actually like using a bigger brush to set, because not only can you press it in, but you can kind of reshape your lid without going in and doing a cut crease, but you can still add some really nice definition. So we're just going to tap this in here, and I'm not going to bring it up too high, I don't think. Just a little bit over my natural crease here in my eye. You guys, I will post a wedding picture. My DMs are full. You guys know that I will. I have to find them though. I think they're on Ben's computer. They weren't that great, unfortunately, but I will show you guys. So this, I feel, is just a classic bridal eyeball. I grabbed the shade here called Vamp, just on this side. And I'm just gonna tap it right through here. Mama! It's the chaos. She's cracking me up. She's just throwing things everywhere. So I'm still just gonna tap this through here. And I don't want to take it out too far. And then I kind of just want to soften it and blend it over this way. All right, so brown was winning, and I'm just gonna go ahead. This is from M Cosmetics. I love this liner. It's the illustrative eyeliner in brown. I'm just gonna go to town. It's kind of like a classic cat eye shape. I really like this one because I really like the color of the brown. It's nice and deep, but then it's not that aggressive black. All right, we're gonna do some mascara. I'm still gonna do lashes. I'm gonna be wearing a pair from House of Lashes that are my favorite, and I feel that they're just so pretty. But the most classic bridal lash is the Ardell Demi Wispy. Just get that one. If you're doing your own makeup, just go get you a Demi Wispy. And I want to tell you a glue to get. Get the House of Lashes clear glue. It will not move. Won't. Hurricane, crying in a hurricane, it ain't gonna move. Now, I am gonna go grab a little itty bitty snack. I will be right back. Right back. So here we have it. I have on my House of Lashes lash in the style It's a Look. I just love it because it's very tapered. It starts very small and kind of just creates a really nice cat eye. So you want your makeup to be very long wearing, and even if you're normal to dry, a mattifying primer through the center is just really gonna help hold that. I wanted to choose one that's, you know, more affordable, but still one of my ride or die faves. This is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer. The matte one is my favorite, so I'm just gonna apply this right to any areas that might break up makeup throughout the day and as we wear our makeup. I do want to give you guys an option. If you're very oily, I would recommend this. This is the Makeup Forever Shine Control. You will not be oily. It takes down shine. It minimizes it like nothing I've ever seen. It's so, so good. So this would be really good to invest in for your wedding day, engagement parties, living life. It's really that good. This one is another level. But if your combination normal to dry, I'm normal to dry, this one is going to be amazing, the e.l.f. one. It's going to be great. If you're extremely dry, I would recommend just placing something like this right here underneath your eyes and just the high points of the face. I would never recommend, no matter how dry you are, don't put something very, very hydrating through the center, especially if you're going to be wearing heavy makeup, wedding makeup. All right, I'm going to give you guys two options on foundation. I'm going to show you a drugstore one. This one's going to be amazing for wedding makeup. A little bit goes a long way and it will last you. It looks so pretty. They have a great shade range. I love this one. So this one and then this one. This one is from Givenchy. That's why I wanted to show you two different ones. But this one, honestly, I'm going to be wearing this one. I haven't worn it in a while. This to me is basically wedding foundation in a bottle. And let me just put it on. So I was filming my IGTV and got carried away and did this side. But you guys can see how beautiful this is. And honestly, a really good way to apply this so you don't go overboard is to actually pick it up on this little brush. Just grab any little brush and just kind of place it where you want it and then press it in. Then look at yourself in the mirror and go, where else do I need a little bit more coverage? So it's gonna be right here. So then we'll just kind of press that in. So this is a really good way to do your makeup when it's really important. All right, I'm gonna grab I actually love this concealer and I don't know why I don't use it. I think it's one of my favorites. This is the Stay Naked. I feel like I have it in a different compartment compared to my other concealers, but it's really nice and I also love the color. All right, that's about right. I'm gonna grab my Anissa Angle Concealer Brush and just start to work this in. I didn't want to go too bright with my concealer because a lot of times we're taking flash photography. And I know we're thinking, okay, we want our under eye to be so bright, so perfect, but that's actually not what you want. You want to use a concealer that's about 2 shades lighter than your foundation. Trust me on it. And I'm not sure if I labeled my brush, but again, this is my Anissa Angle Concealer Brush. Just look how it fits here so nicely. Fits down your nose. I don't even know how to do my makeup without these brushes anymore. So this has been my new favorite. It's from Danessa Meyer's. It's her Balm Contour. I'm going to use the shade Medium 2, but I'm going to go a little bit more light-handed. I don't think that sometimes the heavy contour looks so great in wedding pictures. I feel like it can look a little dated, but we do want a little bit of warmth and shape. So this is going to be quite enough. And then don't forget, we're also going to grab our foundation brush and just kind of tap that in. We don't want that bronzer helmet. Let's do a peachy blush. I love, especially for long wearing makeup, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do a cream, or this is more of like a liquid blush. So if you're oily, do not be afraid of these. But also, we're gonna layer as well, because it's always gonna look so good in pictures. And I know you've heard it from so many other makeup artists, but blush really does fade. So if you're afraid of it, it's the first thing that's gonna go. It's gonna be like, I got places and things to see. I do want to say that I'm not going to put the blush across my nose. I just feel like that's too trendy. I'm kind of just going to keep it right through here. Just on the very high point. Not quite to the apple, just about right there. It's just going to add lift and look really nice in pictures. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my Givenchy powder. I'm actually going to use the shade Satin Blanc today. And I'm just going to press that in. Satin Blanc's a little more beige instead of pink. And it's going to look like I'm baking, but once I'm done pressing all of this in, this will all be disappeared. We don't. Baking is just, it's so heavy. It just basically sucks out all of the moisture, and your makeup is going to stay just as long and look even smoother if you just really take your time and press it in with a puff. For the rest of my face, I'm going to grab this. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder. It's so good. So the reason we use a pressed powder on the rest of the face, it's translucent powder. It's better for underneath the eyes and the really delicate parts of the eyes because it's more finely milled. Pressed powder is actually going to set your makeup a little bit better, but it's not as finely milled, so it's not great under your eyes. So here's the part where if you find your powder might have covered up some of your bronzer, you can just grab a powder bronzer. Layering is always best for long wear makeup no matter what. Layering, and not only that, it's going to add dimension and it's just going to look so nice. So then we'll just grab a little bit of blush. This one's crazy pigmented. In fact, I'm going to tap it right here. And I'll just tap this in, just adding a little bit extra on top. Remember, layering. It's just so good for long wear. Oh, and don't forget, I'm blessed, so blessed to have a discount code with Alamar. My code is ROSE. If you guys want to pick this up or something else from them, they're so amazing. So use code ROSE. Look at this little cutie. Oh, I love it. So this one's the new eyeshadow brush from Rare Beauty. And I'm gonna grab this shade right here, and I'm grabbing it on the tip. You can kind of see that the brush is tapered, so I wanted to show you where I'm placing it, and then I'm kind of just gonna shove it up under my lashes. Sounds way more aggressive than what's happening, but that's kind of what's happening. And we're just gonna buff this back and forth. We don't want it to be too dark underneath here. So now I'm gonna grab this eye brightening pencil. This one is not as bright, and that's good. Sometimes you don't want your waterline to be too bright. You kind of just want it to be a little bit brighter version of what it is naturally. So this one from Mario is one of my faves for that. So I'm gonna do my bottom lashes, and this is the mascara I actually use. This is the Maybelline Defaulties Lash Lift. I love it because it's just gonna grab everything, but this one is waterproof and it will not move. I've tested this one. So if you're wanting a really good waterproof, this one's, look, love this one. All right, I'm gonna grab this Mario E5, a very tiny little brush, and we're gonna grab this shade here called Sequin. And this is gonna be our inner corner. I might pile this on. I'm just gonna have to do the classic rose inner corner. So what I'll do is I kind of just build my layers up gradually. So don't be afraid to just kind of come back and tap it. Just keep building it. All right, guys, I'm gonna do a nude lip here, and then I'm gonna do a red lip off camera, and then I'm gonna do one of those slides, super cute slides. Rose is so Instagram these days. No, I'm gonna do that so you guys can see which one you like better. But I didn't want to do two here. Red lip's gonna take me a second, and I'm gonna run to Starbucks with Ben. So, what we're going to be using is none of this. This isn't it. Alright, I'm first going to start with this lip liner. This is from Serum. They have the best lip liners. Not only that, can you see that? They feel so good in your hand. They're not round, they're square. I love them. So I'm using the shade Nectar, and I'm just going to do a rough outline. So now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of fill in the lip, but I'm not going to fill in the very center. So now I'm going to take this Anastasia liquid lip. This is the shade Pure Hollywood. I'm going to do a nice thin layer, and then I'm going to tap it to the edges. This one will not move. This one's going to dry completely matte. That's pretty. And if you press it in with your finger like so, it's kind of just going to lock it into that lip liner and nothing's going to move. We're good to go. That's so pretty. This look. This is classic. I'm going to show you guys one more trick. This is what I call my Facetune powder. And what I'll do is I'll take this just in certain areas and it will leave your skin completely airbrushed. I used to use this all the time, but I always want to try and use things that are in everybody's budget. I know everyone has a different budget, so I wanted to bring it out today since this would be an extremely special occasion. But this right here as a finishing powder as your last step, chef's kiss. Alright guys, this is the finished look. I feel this is just the epitome of bridal. I wish I would have done my inner corner like this. Obviously it's a little intense, you could just leave that, you could just put a tiny amount, but Rose doesn't know tiny amount because Rose is out of control. I love you guys so much. I mean that. I had so much fun last night. I'll post all the makeup details in a little while. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to get spicy though, so just get ready for some spice. Get ready for it. Love you.